Hey, this is Man-Made Mead. Today we're doing something different. We're making a wine. So I have here a wine kit that is graded for 6 gallons. It's kind of heavy, so I'll put it down. But we're making a Shiraz, which is a kind of wine. And I've never made it before. I wanted to try wine because wine and mead are kind of hand-in-hand, brother-sister kind of thing. So I think that ultimately that'll help me with my mead making too, to try to make some wine. So the Shiraz that I bought today, and that I'm going to be putting together, is the flavor profile is blackberry, and then spices, and actually chocolate is kind of the three things that it is putting together. So I'll be interested to see how those go together, because that's kind of a weird combination of ingredients. We are going to put in, the kit itself comes with a bunch of stuff. It comes with, of course, the wine base, which I'll show all this stuff real fast. The kit comes with the wine base, which is this right here in this big sack bag, really. And then it comes with a couple other things. We're going to be putting together all of it, basically almost all the ingredients except for a few. We're going to add, based on what the actual the directions say, we will also be, alongside our juice packet, we'll be putting in Bentonite. Then we also put in some oak, because that's what it comes with, some oak French, it's like a medium, and then a Lalvin EC-1118. Later on in the process, we will be putting in some other things, those things being some chitosan. This is like the 4th stage later on. These are for clearing. I can't even say it. Keystelsol, however you say it. It is going to go into the stabilizing stage, and then we have our normal things like potassium metabisulfite and potassium sorbate there that will go into, like I said, our stabilizing point. Then we'll bottle it, do all those things. But this should be easier than making a mead because it's really only putting a couple things together. We're going to start, because the directions say to start by using actually our bentonite. We're going to put 2 cups of warm water in the bottom of our fermenter. This is a 7.9 gallon fermenter that I've gone ahead and sanitized. It is ready to be used, so it is all good. I've sanitized all my equipment, and I don't normally do it on camera because it's kind of boring to watch, but it's just Star San or PBW. I use kind of a mix of the both, and I spray things and wash things and whatnot. But we're going to take the bentonite, 2 cups of water, warm water, put the water into here, mix our bentonite in, and then we will start the actual juice process. I should also mention that bentonite is, it can be used as a clearing agent, but in this case we're using it because the bentonite will help it clear later on. It kind of alleviates some problems in the beginning, so that's why we use it. Okay, we've got our warm water. This is our 2 cups of warm water that we just poured in there. Now we're going to take and put our bentonite in and stir it very well. This is 30 grams of bentonite, and it should mix into the 2 there really well. Okay, so I've stirred this really well, and bentonite is not always great for stirring into things. It takes some time. You kind of have to work pretty hard at it, but the hot water definitely helped to get it to mix in. Next step will be to go ahead and add in our wine base, which is this right here, and I'm just going to put it into the fermenter. And this will ultimately, one reason I like this fermenter is because it goes up to 7.9 gallons, but it also has markings on it, 1 gallon, 2 gallon, 3, all the way to 6 is really where it stops marking it, but I know it's 7.9 gallons. So we're going to take and put our base into here. Alright, we're going to put the juice in, taking the lid off. And basically just going to have to pour it in. I don't know how well it's going to work. We're going to find out. Alright, so that's all of our juice. And it got a little messy there, but that's okay. This got us to roughly, it's a little less than 3 gallons, which means that we'll have to put in close to 3 gallons of water, which that's what I have here to use. It smells really, really good actually already as is. I know it's a wine, a great base, all those things. I'll be curious to see how that all translates. What I want to do now is we are now going to put our water in. So let's get this up to the 6 gallon mark, which on this fermenter is the first ridge here. We are now ready to go ahead and start stirring this because we have our water mixed in with our wine base. We have 6 gallons total, and I'm going to start just kind of by hand for the moment, and then I have my drill that I'll pull out. But this is just to get it started. We have, just to remind you, we have bentonite. We have close to 6 gallons of water, or at 6 gallons of water, and 3 gallons of water, 4 gallons of water almost, and then our wine base. So now our next step with our bentonite and everything in is to go ahead and put in this oak. You actually put the oak into the primary for this. So this oak these are oak granulated oak, so it's smaller. And it should start to impart that flavor. Like you think wine, you think about the barrel age and all that stuff. So we're gonna add this into there. Here's our oak. We're gonna throw it right on top. Kind of like oak chips. They're a little smaller than oak chips, really. Okay. Again, time to stir. Okay, we have stirred, we've put everything in so far. The only thing we're missing is the yeast, and we'll put that in a moment, but we need to get a hydrometer reading to get our specific gravity, our starting gravity, for what this should be. And a little bit hard to read with some of those bubbles, so we can make a spot. We're at specific gravity of 1.10, which means on our scale, we will hopefully reach close to a, let's see, it's about a 13% ABV wine. So I'm very, very content with that. And the yeast, the EC-1118 should go up to that very easily. It'll actually dry it out completely. But then when we stabilize all those things, this should be a dry wine. But I can, if I wanted to, just like you can with mead, you can go through and back sweeten. If you stabilize, do all those things, put a little bit more, like sugar or honey or whatever I'm going to put into it. But I'll be curious to try it when it's dry. I might like it dry. I might want a little sweetness. I don't know. We're going to find out. But regardless, we're going to need to add our yeast in. So the yeast, like I've been saying, is this EC-1118. There's only one packet. And this can be used for 1 to 6 gallons. Obviously, the bigger your batch, the more yeast you can put in. So what I might do, let me see real fast. I've actually got another packet of EC-1118. I'm going to put in 2 just to make sure that fermentation kicks and gets going. Not that I'm trying to drink this fast. The date for like the fermentation time, everything is like 30 days for all this. For clearing and everything, it's supposed to be done, but I'm not trying to push it. We're sprinkling it on top, we're not rehydrating. I'm just going to follow what the directions say instead of me just doing the rehydration process, because I'm curious to see how this gets going. Here's our 2 packets, sprinkling that on top. Then now we're going to stir again, but this time I'm going to stir with my drill, which will help us get everything even greater stirred up than me just hand stirring. So let me get my drill gun and all that stuff ready. Alright, here's my drill. We're going to start stirring. We have stirred it all up. The great thing is, basically we're done for right now until we get to the later stages. Based on what my instructions say, this should ferment for about 14 days. And then it should drop down to really it says on there 0.996, so definitely dry. EC-1118 should take that down all the way. And then at that point, we can talk about going through and clearing it and doing all those things. But for now, this part is done. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my lid on this, put my airlock in, and then of course label it so I know what it is. And then we're gonna let it set. The fermentation temperature range, I'm gonna try and keep it at about 68 ultimately. And I have a temperature controlled freezer that I'll put it in, so that will sit at 68 consistently to where I don't have to sit there and watch it and monitor it. And that's a good range for that, for the yeast. 68 does pretty well for what we're trying to do. Alright, so that's gonna do it for my first wine part 1 video. Again, this is my really an experiment. I've done lots of meads, I've done beer, never touched the wine world, but I really wanted to try getting into our like Shiraz, this wine kit, which is a wine I've had some, but I haven't had a lot of. I think it's a good starter. These wine kits are not super expensive, so I highly suggest, if you want to try it, to go get one. And even if you want to try making just something for the first time, there's not really a mead kit that's sold, but there are wine kits, there are beer kits, stuff like that. So if you want to get started in fermentation, go buy a wine kit, a beer kit, stuff like that. 6 gallons will get us about, I think it's like 28 to 32 wine bottles. So quite a bit. If you think about your cost per wine bottle, if you bought this wine as opposed to if you were to try and make it, you were coming out on top in the end. It takes a little work, but that's fine. And basically the next video you'll see is going through the clearing stages. So we'll watch the fermentation go. I'll give some fermentation updates too in this next video. But I want to let it set for now. I like this wine portion. It's pretty easy because it's not a lot of, it's quicker, which is interesting, quicker than doing the mead stuff. But I still love making mead. Wanted to get a wine underneath my belt. So thank you for watching. Check out my stuff below. I've got a Patreon, I've got a Facebook, I've got a Society 6 for stores, I've got a P.O. box if you want to send me anything. Lots of things down below. I would love your support, so leave a comment and like and all those things. And share with your friends. We are very close to 5,000 YouTube 5,000 YouTube subscribers, which would be really cool to do. And when we get there, I would love to do a big giveaway of sorts. I kind of did one back when I had not as many subscribers, and I want to do something similar but with a couple more things. So I think it'd be fun to do that. So let's get to that 5,000 and then we'll do a giveaway. But regardless, thank you for watching. I appreciate your support, whether it be mead content, beer content, wine content now, or just talking about mead making. You guys are awesome, and you always help me with my video creation. So I hope you guys have a great day. Hope you enjoyed the video, and cheers.